Peace, peace, everyone. It's your girl Sequoia Blue back in here on this beautiful Saturday. Today we have a special guest. We have John Pethke. He is the co-founder of CoyAmore, a dating app for introverts. So this is actually really interesting. So what made you want to create this app?
I think, I recognize that there's a lot of dating apps out there, and overall um, they don't cater to introverts very strongly. And, as an introvert myself, I can recognize the struggles with dating that we may have sometimes. So I think we deserve a little more attention.
I totally agree. And what was the difficulties of creating the app? Like what any challenges that you had to cross?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, in general, starting a business is kind of a roller coaster. One of the biggest challenges I had initially was uh, coming up with finding a developer. There's like so many options out there between like one single person, a small company, or a huge company, and I had to go through like a long interview process. I just interviewed a lot of individuals and companies and did a lot of research. And, I landed on a local company, had a good conversation with the owner, and a lot of you just got to follow your feelings on that one because, everyone's a salesman. So, you don't want to get stuck with the wrong company to develop your app because it may, leave you in the wind. But past that, figuring out the name was difficult. The parent
Mm.
company is called Intro LLC, which I liked for the name, but it didn't look like in the long run it would work for the app name for legal reasons. So we switched to CoyAmore. My brother was like, "Well, since you're changing your name, you should try to do something with Koi because it's synonymous with shy." And then Amore just came to me as far as using a word to reflect love. It's Italian for love, so that's how we came up with the name eventually. Um, the logo was another difficult part too, trying to encapture something that can represent introversion and but not like offend anybody. So I was thinking it took me weeks to figure out the logo change up because the original logo wasn't going to work either.
Mm.
Rebranding can suck sometimes, but
Yes.
yeah. So I thought of like um, introverts tend to, they're more internal, they think a lot, whereas extroverts may be outward, talk a lot. So I thought
Mhm.
of, putting a heart inside of a thought bubble. That way it kind of represents, love is on the mind and, it's more internal. So that was that. Those were like, I'd say over the development phase, the more difficult parts. Now that I find myself in a more difficult part and spreading awareness because I have no marketing experience myself. So I'm kind of
Mm.
venturing down a lot of networking paths and talking to a lot of people and just kind of in a discovery phase for marketing.
Yeah, marketing it does take that time, and
Yeah.
podcasting is definitely helpful with that. So that's good that
Yeah.
you're doing this. And then, of course, the influencer side on TikTok, because a lot of them, a lot of people now are having like people you look at a product and promote it that way too. So it's just so many different angles. It's like but
Yeah.
the main thing is having the product, and
Right.
you have it done, and this is amazing.
Thanks.
So is your app like AI generated? Like, okay, somebody creates a profile, and then somebody else creates a profile, and then it's like, oh, they match because they both like to go painting. Is it
Oh,
that?
okay. Nothing to do with AI specifically, but
Okay.
so you're paired with matches, and the way our like match algorithm works is it works off of the five universal love languages. So when you
Mm.
sign up and create a profile, you get to order your love languages in your preferred order, and then that's kind of how we use to pair each other up. Additionally, mile factor is kind of, or mile limitation is a factor as well, just how close you are to somebody physically. But right now we're actually just around the corner from removing our mile limiter. That way, when people get on the app, they see there's people on there, which, they may be across the country or states away or cities away, but it is a new app. So, the people we get on there are going to be few and far between for at least, for now. So,
Oh, that's good. And what's your favorite feature about the app? Like, what's your favorite?
yeah, I like I mean, I love the match algorithm with the 5 universal love languages. I've got a lot of great feedback on that. One feature that, is I like a lot, mostly just because I was able to come up with it, was the uh, the blind date feature. So when two users match and start chatting, um, there's a toggle option where if you toggle it on, it lets the app know when you're ready to go on a date with the other person, but it doesn't let them know until they also toggle it on, and then the app will let them both know that they want to go on a date with each other. So it kind of takes the fear away from asking somebody out.
I like that. Now
Thanks.
that stands out because there's not, a lot of apps like that. Because I've been on all the apps, and and it's like I've never seen that one. I think Bumble's trying it, but they're not doing fully. It's just like once a week or something. I don't know,
Yeah,
but
they're they have the blind date thing, and they take it a little more literally, which is fine. Like that's just what I called this feature. Um, but theirs is like strictly like you're talking to someone and then you kind of match with them if you liked the conversation afterwards, and then you get to see
Mhm.
what they look like. So
Okay,
it's a
that's
little
interesting.
different. Yeah.
Yes, it's just a little different. And so, is this for extroverts as well? Because I'm an introverted extrovert. So,
Yeah, no, definitely for extroverts, because introverts and extroverts match well together. A lot of times, opposites attract. So we encourage extroverts to join the app if they think their partner is an introvert. We just want to cater to the introverts with this app.
I love it. I love it. And what? Oh, wait a minute, let me make sure. Do you have? Oh, yeah, that's what I'm gonna ask. So, do you have any advice for someone that's like starting a dating app that wants to start a dating app?
Yeah, yep. I would say before even getting on the building phase, like if I could do anything differently from when I started, it would have been to understand marketing better beforehand,
Mm,
because that's currently like the biggest hurdle. Like obviously creating the platform is important, but if you can't get it out there efficiently or have a plan to, that's going to be a pain point, which I'm, learning now.
oh man,
But
do you?
apart from that, I would say, have patience, because
Mhm.
the actual development part of it takes a lot of time, and it would never. I don't think we stuck to like our initial schedule the entire time of the development phase. But yeah, patience is key when that happens. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so important. I think people give up so quick, they see so many other competitors, they get nervous and stuff. But the thing is, when you see different or similar ideas to yours, it's a good thing. That means that, okay, you have a chance to really grow in your own way. So definitely patience is the key. Do you think that some people should get investors involved? I mean, I know there's like, that's a slippery slope because
Sure.
sometimes you get an investor and he tries to take over the company. You really got to know what the rules are.
Yeah, I would say that, investor is a good way to go, but not an easy way to go, in the sense that you have to convince them it will be a, successful product, or it will deliver, some kind of valuation back to the investor in some way. So while I say, going the way of the investor is good, it's not exactly just easy to land one typically.
Mm.
Obviously, with like, if you're going to like your family and friends that for like that initial investment in some capacity, like that's probably realistic to start off with. But finding like a venture capitalist or an angel investor to, invest in your business for something like this isn't the easiest thing without, proven data and statistics and research and all of that.
Ooh, yeah, I know that all too well as a fellow entrepreneur. It's tough. I said, you know what, I'd rather just bootstrap it because then I don't have to sit here and go through all these papers and stuff. I mean, now you have Chat GPT to help out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But so any dating advice you have for anyone that's out here that's an introvert, like, what type of things could they write in their profile? Any type of pictures you could recommend?
Yeah, I mean, as far as the pictures front goes, people want to see what you look like. I wouldn't start your profile picture off with a group of people because then it, makes them, the other potential match, have to figure out who you are. But people want to see pictures of you, so that's always good to have. What you want to put in your profile, be yourself. It's so easy to compare yourself with others and other profiles, but at the end of the day, if you want a match that is going to want you, if you want a match that wants you, it's best that you display yourself in the most realistic way possible, so that way they already know what kind of person you are. But
Okay.
that's easier said than done, for sure. Just my advice personally.
No, that was great advice, and then there's dating coaches out there that can help people too. That's a little bit more socially awkward because that's another big thing too.
That's true. Yeah. And,
Um,
as an introvert, it's hard to put yourself out there in general.
man.
You do have to do it in some capacity if you hope to meet someone. So it's, while we while we are introverts, we do have to, break out a little bit at least, just to, hopefully find that match.
Yeah, I totally agree. I can't agree with the TikTok trend. People are like, "Oh, he has to come through DoorDash in order for me to find him." No, you can't. DoorDash is not, most likely not
Doesn't
going to
make
find your partner. They drop the food off and run. Okay,
sense.
you don't even get to see them.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's definitely true. And I think there's been like some disagreements with dating apps, and people are like, "Oh, it's you don't find anybody up there." But I think that it's just a numbers game. You go up there, you try different apps, and just be patient, just with
yeah,
anything else.
definitely.
Yeah. And so right now the app is available for download for just anybody on
Um,
Android and
yeah, yep. It's a United States based app, and you can download it on uh, Android and Apple. We have a website which we use to um, give more information, provide, questions. If there's anything wrong with the app, you can contact us on there. We have a blog that we post weekly on.
hmm.
Yeah, and then, we're on all forms of social media as well.
Okay, yeah, no, definitely add that in notes. Everybody can follow and support. And before we go, I always ask people, what's a saying or quote that you go by?
Um, I don't know if
Our favorite book.
I would just say honesty is best practice, and I don't know if that's a quote by anyone, but it's something I live by. So
Well, that's good. That's your quote. I love it, John. Honesty is the best practice because without honesty, what do we have? Because the lie will somehow come back around. We will know. Well, thanks so much for being on this show on this beautiful Saturday and taking your time out. I'm sure everybody's going to download your app and enjoy it. I know it's going to blow up and I'll share it everywhere. So just keep going.
appreciate that. Thanks so much, Sequoia, for having me.
You're welcome, everybody. Thanks for listening. Subscribe, share, and download his app, CoyAmore, right? CoyAmore.
Yeah, CoyAmore.
Okay, perfect. Yes, everybody download it and be blessed out there.